Duff, your host.
And I'm producer Barbie.
And together,
we bring you our podcast,
Insights and Straight Talk. And with that, producer Barbie and I are out. What am I doing wrong? Dang it. That was going to be my first really good one that I did. Hold on. No sound. Great. Here. It's coming, folks. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to come back. How about that, huh? So just a little bit more marketing, of course. I kind of jumped on here premature, so probably going to be a little late in having some arrivals. Hopefully that maybe that little artwork I just did will show up on some replays. So how are you folks? We're at 8,270 subscribers as of this morning when I checked. You guys are on fire, man. Really love what's going on. Really love the support that we're getting from everybody. Really love the ability to be able to move forward with this program. Like I said, I'm just probably going to jump on a little bit. I wanted to have a little of the morning coffee with you guys, coffee and tea. So I wanted to see if there was any questions. Now, if nobody shows up, this is going to be a really short one. I got some sleep last night, so I feel a little better. I got about 6 hours sleep. I've been up since 3 though. So, well, I got up at 11:45 and I'm like, oh no, this isn't going to happen again. And this time I went after it. I just went into a place and ended up getting up at 3:30. And at that point it wasn't worth the battle. And so I got in here early. I've been here for quite a while working on some different automation, some AA stuff, right? We're dialing in. As you saw, if you go back and look at the very beginning, I was stretched out. My hand was a little shaky there, but we are poised. And I told you I'd give you an update this week. Hi, whoever just popped on. How you doing? It's open mic. So, I think I'm going to start doing this on a regular basis. This coffee and tea time. My family here. You guys are my network and my information and my joy. I mean, my family is my joy. I had a great conversation. I told you, my son Brandon, he has a podcast called Be Money, and he also has a couple of communities, kind of doing what we're doing with the AI class. And he and I were talking about it. He has a Discord, uses Discord. I remember that used to just be a gamer thing. Now it's pretty cool deal. We'll get into all those conversations about AI and classrooms and communities. But this is the community right here, man. I can't wait to start talking to you guys live. I mean, yeah, you guys are awesome with questions and so forth, but in the communities that we're working on, it's going to be all of us, and we're going to be having these kind of discussions. Find a golf. Oh, we got a real estate dude or dudette here. Thanks for sharing real world breakthroughs. Yeah, I mean this is a big deal, and it couldn't happen at a more. Wow. Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. We are taking off here, so I was going to make this really short. So be kind here. I got to do some running around. I've got a couple batteries that I've got to get replaced because they're for the car, the starter without batteries, and that's a special thing. So I got to go grab a couple of those and get a couple of that and a couple of thems, and then come back and do it all over again. Again, I really appreciate you guys being here. There are some breakthroughs, and we'll be talking a lot about that within the communities, and it's moving really fast. So, like I said earlier, I promised you an update. We're hoping for 2 weeks. So this week, and then at the end of next week, roll it out. I told you I'd give an update on that this week, and it's Thursday, and I'm that far away from giving you an update on because I don't want to give an update and then have to be wrong. And then if I take the safe route and say it's going to be 2 more weeks and we're ready next week, then I'm going to hold it. Well, I guess I could come on and ask you guys. You're my peeps, right? We are all our peeps. Thank God for the great middle class, man. I'll tell you what, things are amazing, and it happened at a more. It's happening at a critical time and an important time because of what's coming down. I was talking to producer Barbie last night before I left the office, and we were talking about the changes, and these questions that I get about all the energy and this and that. Oh, my dogs are going to enter in here a second. Bear with me. I should just start shutting those doors, but they're fun. Anyway, I am I'm really excited about the way things are going. The next big trend. Great question here, investor. I'll just go with investor. The next great trend is a complete automation of your entire life. The trend is going towards there, and I'll get back to your question in a second. But I just wanted to hit on the fact that Barbie and I were talking about how everything is just so much energy and so much joy and so much. We got kind of reflecting back on some things, and what I was doing before. Hey, everybody, how you doing? What I was doing before was, it was the safe way to raise a family, earn an income. God, it's already getting hot in here. Jesus criminy. I'm not going to be wearing vests very much longer here this year. I can tell already. But so we were talking about that, and it's funny as we're going through the reflections, we're talking about, okay, I haven't, what all my life is backed up. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time, or if you want me to, I will. Obviously, it's open discussion. But in that, I've never had this kind of joy and feeling and energy. I've always been energetic and active and smile and laugh and get people to laugh, and all that stuff. But she made a point in that finally now I'm doing the thing I should have been doing from the very beginning. That's another thing, man. We all need to talk, because when there's choices and risks and all that, that's the beginning of, well, for me, it's also now, but that's typically in the beginning of life cycle, adulthood. And I don't think we spend enough, as a greater group, spend enough time really feeling. See, and that's another thing bad with our educational system. Europe's got a much better educational system, but putting all that stuff aside, actually, the UK has a really cool system, and we can get into all that. But it's just now that I am working on the purpose that I'm here, that I was put here to do. And that's where all this surge is coming from. And, it's funny. I mean, at some point, somebody was saying, knock your crap off. I've always struggled in the bit. I've always been growing, but always setbacks that never made it that next level. Well, we went next level, but it was always a rock boulder being pushed uphill. And then the motorcycle accident, the stroke. Somebody's telling me, knock this crap off. You're when stuff happens, you figure out you're going down maybe not the right path. You're forcing yourself down a shadowed path when the one that's lit and what you're here for, go to the light, but not that. Go to the light, go where your gut feeling, there's a lot of truth to reality. Reality being the human experience. We're organic. We're tied to this earth. And, all those things come together to say, let's plan a little bit more starting out. First of all, you'll be a lot happier. I mean, total change. Man, you know what it'd be like if I was like this for the last 40 years? That'd be crazy. Wow. I'm getting tired just thinking about that. Anyway, so that's an important thing. And I believe that we're all here together because we need to, that precipice, I love that word, that precipice is here. And we were talking the other day with the will, the online will gentleman. Awesome conversation. If you haven't seen it, it was yesterday's show, and it's about online will, and we had a long, really active, exciting conversation. It was very, very cool, believe it or not. As we were talking about, it's kind of a dry subject, but it was awesome. So, the world is barreling forward, and we need to get there, and we need to step at a legitimate thing, a legitimate pace. I have another automation that, as I started to say earlier, my son Brandon and I were talking about. B Money is his show, and totally different than this, but very similar kind of concept. He does tech. He does revenue streams. He does a lot of things about other product qualities, reviews, and stuff like that. He actually invited me to come take a look at some of the products and review them. So that's a pretty exciting, that's a pretty neat little thing. So I covered all the other things I wanted to get to, but as far as what you're asking here, not you, not your, no, N-Y-A-L, no, Niall. Nah, that didn't work. The next trend is kind of where we are right now in the class, because I now I'm literally 2 clicks away from setting this thing on live, and Brandon and I were talking about it, and if I would have opened it up before the show, I don't want to spend a bunch of time, but reading through it, it literally, when this show airs, my Google Drive folder that the webhook, that the Google Drive download, when it sees that this has been finished and is dropped into one particular folder, then it will create its next action. And it goes to the next module and says, okay, now this, and basically to make it real streamlined. And probably tomorrow I probably should bring that up and then be ready for it. I wasn't thinking about actually doing it. And by the way, we're not only talking AI. Sure feels like it right now, man. It's just flooding in. I mean, we've got 4 or 5. Let's see, we've got 2 tomorrow, and unrelated fields here. Again, this is about the whole middle class and all the desires and needs, because you got to have a healthy mind, you got to have a healthy body and spirit to take advantage of these things. Like we always talk about, you need to be worthy of the things that you desire. Makes sense, right? So the trends are what I'm describing through here, in that once those triggers are enacted, within seconds, it takes this and it pulls all the metadata out of this, and then what it does is it sends that to an Airtable. That's part of the automation. That Airtable then extracts that metadata and keeps a file of what that show is and saved here. Then it goes to Google Calendar. It takes that information and records the time that it went in and the next steps. Clips come out this time, it records that. Emails go out to announce this or announce that, does that, and then scheduling beyond. And then it pulls back everything together and goes through a JSON file that now creates some images and does a lot of other things and sends it out all to our social media. That's where the trend is going. Now, I'm talking about our show here. Just imagine the lawyer. We were talking, as a matter of fact, we were talking about that yesterday. The lawyers are so sluggish, and they just the whole system is not going to be able to survive. The legal system. We were talking about wills, but everything is not going to be able to survive in the onslaught of AI, which is coming very quickly and very excitingly. So let's say you put that kind, different things. And here's the thing: when you're picking a module, it tells you well, first of all, I've got my AI set up to be able to require it to give me suggestions between this or that if I have a question. And so anyway, we look at that, and you just pluck that out, and it goes to the next step. Emails being sent out, records being processed, database. Oh yeah, it also keeps that customers, the database for future sales opportunities. You can put that into anything, including the restaurant that needs to, when it gets to a certain point, sends that, and orders go out, and then processing happens, and deliveries come in, and contracts are signed. That was an oversimplification. There's a lot more to it. Breakdown of ingredients. What do we have? What do we need? What's the forecast looking over the last, pull out whatever, as far as the type of ingredients / foods, meats, lettuces, breads. What is that trend where it keeps that very automatically? And again, this stuff costs nothing, literally nothing. Well, okay, sort of, almost literally nothing. In other words, fractions of a penny when I send that out. That's what it cost. Now, could have hired somebody to put all this together. That would have cost a little bit of an investment, not a crazy amount. But I wanted to, but then you don't know it, right? You're not intimate. Talking about AI, intimate. You're not intimate with it. So at the end of the day, this is where everything's going. These are the trends and here's the thing. What I'm saying right now is going to sound like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about in 5 years, because it's going to be totally different. Great start to the show. Loving the flow already. Thanks, Mario. Man, I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, I did say that name, but thanks, Mario. Michael, loving the AI insights. What's the next big trend you see? That's very similar to our question up here, and it's a great question, because whatever I say right now, a couple months from now, it'll no more than a couple of years from now, it's going to be a completely different thing. I see what I do see is the trend of digital money, which has been talked about for a long time. As a matter of fact, it's been a scary thing for a long time for people who don't know anything, and none of us did, and actually it didn't exist, or it might have. But first time I ever heard about Bitcoin was a series about some drug people and it was a really cool show, and I saw it like 4 years ago. I think, yeah, 4 years ago, and they were using I think it was actually Bitcoin, but they were using a crypto to be able to buy the drugs and sell them so that the police couldn't follow the money. That's the first time I ever heard about it. So I thought, oh my God, that's dark web kind of stuff, right? No, it's just what's happening next. I mean, we used to have copper coins, and we used to have this, as things evolve, and no way in hell are we going to have, I don't know how that's going to all work out, but maybe just over time we'll have both, which we do now. But right now it's more traditional banking, paper, coin stuff, and you're starting to hear a lot more about Bitcoin. About crypto, and what's going to happen is that's going to as generations move. I don't know how long. That's probably going to take a little bit longer to do, though, just because Bitcoin's a whole nother world. But my son tried it. I always thought it was like Bitcoin. Yeah, well, technically Bitcoin is like an investment, but it's because it's money, and we'll get there. So that's the next big trend. I think finances are really going to start becoming part of that. Everything's going to be in the cloud, and there's so many reasons why. I've got a server that crashed. Luckily, my IT guy was able to band-aid some of it, but the sucker just poof. It wasn't good. But we're loading everything, and that's part of this automation. We're loading everything, or I'm loading everything up into the cloud, which is where my Google Drive is, right? Just like everything else basically today. So Michael, these are the trends. It's everything's trending. Everything digital is trending right now. So how do you suggest beginners dive into AI automation? Come to our class. Like I said, I'm gonna give an update this week. I promise. Still, it's Thursday. I know I'm running out of week here, but right now we're on track to roll out next week, depending on a couple of things. So I don't want to say and then be wrong and have to come back and say. So right now, by tomorrow, you're going to hear a lot more. And if you look at the very beginning of this video, I wonder if I should do it again for you guys that are here now. You know what? This isn't real cool or professional or anything. Well, the video is, but me, I am not. So I'm going to redo this. You go back. Here, you guys ready? All right, here we go. There it is. Google Drive, baby. Now we still got to talk a lot more about that one. So that's my fun time. You see the things I put. Oh wow, I just lost a whole lot of people over that. I shouldn't do that again. But as far as beginners go, come to our class, come to our community. You'll see more about that soon. But basically, I don't know if you ever heard remember that old really popular series of books back in the 80s when all the automation was kind of coming in, and there was a series called Google Drive for Dummies. And it was put in words that people understood and could then take use of that technology after you read a book, and they were series. Whoever wrote that book did very well. I gotta imagine. Very creative stuff too. Just the whole idea. So start with chat, chat GPT. It's an open AI. And that's what Elon Musk has kind of gotten stabbed in the back on a couple of things that he's trying to do differently. He created a open AI, and the whole intent it was and still is to be a free source, because he knows how freaking critical this is. If you make costs and everything, you're isolating a whole bunch of people that can't afford, and here we go again. We're right back at the beginning, square one, screwing over the middle class. Not Elon Musk. He developed that. He also did the Starlink to help people at no cost. There's things. He reminds me of his car, Tesla, his car company. He reminds me of the actual Tesla scientist, the name Tesla, and he did create a way to provide free energy, free electricity. There's a lot of elites that are very actually good people, especially immigrants, legal immigrants that go after that stuff. It's an interesting thought to think about. Start with ChatGPT. There is a free version. He's pissed, meaning Elon's pissed, because some people have kind of got around some things, and there's the ChatGPT open AI that also costs. It's not very much. I think it's $12 a month, there's different programs. I just upgraded a Pro, so it's like $18 a month or something like that. Then it goes to 24, and then for the enterprise, which is like entire companies, consult, call sales. So you got to customize something there. No, I'm not there, not and don't want to be there. So simple. Start asking questions. Ask questions like this. Join our class, join another one. We had a guy on a couple of days ago that they're an AI tech for people who don't know AI. And it's like $50 a month, unlimited calling, or it's $400 a year, I think it was. You save like 25%, whatever the math is. And so, I mean, there's a lot of resources out there. Not a lot of people are talking about it to us. I don't think enough are, but I think more are now. And so do your homework, just put a little bit of elbow grease on it. Watch our shows. We have a lot of instruction in our recent episodes. Almost 40% of our episodes now, because they're all going AI. At least talk something about it. We have a doctor who has a whole AI. That was weird. There was a glitch on my screen. I wonder if you guys saw that. I'll see it in review. Anyway, completely AI automated call centers and service providers, so that you're not tied to. You have more freedom, and it's much less expensive to operate a show that way. Sorry, I'm I'm bouncing on the table. By the way, I am going to change this outlook because this chair is about to go, and I want to start sitting down a little bit more, kind of a more comfortable fireside chat kind of feeling. But that's cool. Anyway, so we'll get more about that, Devanya, and I look forward to seeing you there. I look forward to hearing more about it from you because it's important. That question everybody should be asking themselves every day. Jason, what do you got for me? So curious. Can you explain more about the community-powered learning part? Yeah, sure. Heck, we'll turn this into a commercial. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, Jason, thanks. So how it works, we, meaning producer Barbie and I, that big old massive company of ours, us, have and Luca, long story, but has a SKOOL. My son uses Discord, same concept. You have I'll leave Discord alone because it's the same thing. Laid out a little differently, kind of interesting. Funny name, Discord. I always thought that was funny. The SKOOL.com, and I don't remember what the classroom name is, but that is where information that's not available here is constantly being loaded into, session 1, session 2, session 3, session 4, session 5, so on and so forth. And that content is a building block from starting to our first session. We did, God, what was that, Barbie? That was like a month and a half ago or something. Really cool session though. It's sitting there waiting, and then so forth and so on. That is the classroom, okay, and it continues on. And remember, everything, Jason, that we're focused on is in business. How do we make that more lowers cost of doing business, more freedom within the operations of the organization, small business, because small business is always at risk against bigger business that have more assets and have the ability to get these type of things integrated in their system. I mean, when I did Salesforce, I probably should have said that, but there's a plugin called Pardot. I don't even know if it's around anymore, but I had to pay, what was it, like $900 a month? Yeah, I think it was that. It's sophisticated automation, but to set it up cost the company, not me, the company, the $14,730. I'm literally setting all the same and even better stuff up for like $10-15 a month. Yeah. We're in a different world, folks. So that's the class. Big ROI there. But even better is the community. And it's like this, an open mic kind of thing. And you got questions, except like I was saying earlier, I mean, I love the questions. I love the comments back and forth. It's awesome. But I would love to have that comment and then say, hey, Mario or Jason, hey, let's talk about that in a minute. And then go through everybody who wants to have those, you learn more that way. And it's, that's the community. And the reason it's a community is because we're each other's peeps, man. This is the great middle class. This is a community. So we need to continue building a community because, well, I'm not going to say because anymore. You got to know, we got to build a community that makes it all come together and makes it happen. It's very, very, very important stuff. Thanks, people, for coming on, sticking around, and actually more people jumping in. I appreciate that, guys. So, good day, man. Good day. We got I got quite a few more. I better jump on these. We've been here, almost 40, but holy cow. Time flies when you're having fun, man. Everything. This is that real estate. I think I saw him. Yeah, he was on yesterday. Yeah. This info is gold. Are these tools beginner friendly? 100%. A little bit what we talked about in other shows is there's what's called code, right? And then there's low code. Now there's low code and no code. So the code's always being written, no matter what. It's a code. It's a language. C++. Everybody probably knows that term, whether you know how to use it or not. I don't. I know the term. That's one of the several square. I don't know. I think there's several ways to write code or programs that you use to write code. And that's what everybody's done. That's where the this whole thing comes from. Everything basically in the world today, especially anything automated or that has instructions that need to create a series of events or triggers. That's all code. So yes, Mr. Florida, Mr. Jacksonville, beautiful area, by the way. I love that place. That's it, Jacksonville, right? That's in the, what would that be? The upper western kind of corner area. I know it's a little bit further down, but pretty sure that's where it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not always accurate. So, but I am about this. So anyway, yeah, it's very, very beginner friendly. Is that the word you? Yeah, beginner friendly. And the way we are presenting the lessons and the ingredients is also beginner friendly. It's important to be able to understand, wrap your head around, and then be able to deliver something and be able to walk through it, because this stuff can be very disheartening, intimidating, aggravating, depressing, and there's a whole bunch of other words, but we'll walk it together, man. It's all good. So real estate, oh boy, there's a lot of real estate people on today. Cool. Always learning something new. What's your favorite tool right now? Make. Well, yeah. Well, no. I'll tell you what my favorite tool right now. Cut. Hold on. CapCut. That's I showed you a couple of videos earlier on my phone. So I do a lot of automation, but I do a lot of work with graphics and again, all this is new. This all started less than a year ago. Well, actually, the original conversation was with my oldest son while my granddaughter was being born. And, that's a process. And so I think one day during the week, like at around, no, I think it was early breakfast kind of time. We're sitting around and he asked me, do you know this? And he started asking me some things and we jumped onto Chat GPT and I'm like, holy shit. And that's the thing I held on to and that was a year. Let's see, her birth. That was a year. That was about 14, 15 months ago. That's where it all started. Now I've been working with, I didn't know it, but I didn't think about it this way, but with automation I started with Salesforce in 2014 and grew the company with it and with a lot of automation. So I'd have to say that ClipCut. And then there's, all sorts of different things. What I'm doing right now, I'm starting to understand more about JSON files, literally JSON files. And they are there's some really fascinating stuff there. I'm having a lot of fun with my Google Drives. I mean, all this stuff has been around. All this stuff's on my computer in my profiles that I've never really used efficiently at all. Never thought to really. But I knew it was all there, but I just, oh, okay. Throw it aside. I never even checked them. So looking back, not real bright, but you know what? You can evolve quickly, really quickly. And each evolution creates another evolution that makes it easier. Right now, like I said, I use no code. Some people use low code, which is you start to write out some code and it knows where you're going and it finishes that code, which is kind of cool. That's a good way to maybe learn it, which is an option for me, for anybody, but I use no code. So but I go back and it shows you the code. If you click this button in each discussion or link or whatever, wherever you are in that, you can go to the code and it'll tell you how that all happened. It's pretty cool. Or if you're not into it, it's not very cool. I'm just starting to get into it. But anyway, those are kind of my favorite automations right now. But like I said earlier, every few months, I know that's all going to change. Because right now, if I go to my potential layouts, I've got unlimited amount of modules I can add in, and it doesn't cost anything, man. All right, so let's hurry up here. I want to kind of wrap. Great community here. Anyone else taking notes? Thank you very much. Wow, rental doctor. Is that? Remember I told you about the doctor that has an AI and automated medical system. Check the video. It's really, really cool. She was awesome too. Funny as hell. So yeah, I'm started taking notes. Anyone else feeling inspired already? Please, thank you. Keep it coming. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate that. What AI tools do you recommend for beginners? Bob, you must have come in a little bit later, but go back through, listen to this, and join our class, as some of the people are talking about in our community. More on that will be coming out. But for beginners, Chat GPT. And if you rewind, I don't know, guys, what was that, like 40 minutes ago or so? Wow, not 40. 20 minutes ago. Go back and look. There's some very good information about, the history and about Chat GPT. Let me knock off these last couple of ones so I can get my dogs out and get my chores done. How can we build a stronger AI-powered community? Great, a lot of real estate stuff happening today. You guys feel that vibe? The questions are coming. Maybe the real estate business is popping right. Oh, that's another industry that this can really be good because it's all about sales and sales. That's why I get so much use out of it, because of all the follow-ups and emails and bringing people into as a lead or a customer. This is just dynamic for that. You know what? Keep listening in. We're going to tell you about that. But let's keep coming here. This is why I'm starting to do these morning coffee and tea times. Tea time. That could be a golf thing too, huh? So just keep listening. You'll have that, but get onto the Chat GPT, find things. There's communities and all the different, there's a lot of people out there that are, a lot of this software is written by, I don't know, 20, 30, 40-year-olds at no cost. The community is eager to get this out to everybody because it's coming fast. So we'll talk more about that as well. Last one here, folks. starting strong as always. Rod, keep it going. Citrus, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am, that's what we do here at Insights and Straight Talk, and I'm out.
Before you leave, if you'd like to watch another one of the podcasts, click the first link in the description. We love having you here and we appreciate all your support.
And with that, producer Barbie and I are out.